The massive alien warship hung like a dark shadow against the starlit backdrop, its sleek metallic hull dwarfing the small human exploration vessel. J. Park stood motionless on the bridge, his hands clasped behind his back, watching the holographic display that showed the overwhelming force surrounding them. The Galactic Confederation's communication system crackled to life. A reptilian-like alien with scales that shifted between deep green and gray appeared on the main screen. Supreme Commander Rolk Vessen's voice dripped with condescension. "Human vessel, you are entering restricted space," he announced. "Your primitive technology is nothing more than a curiosity. We advise immediate retreat." Jay remained calm. He had expected this response. The human fleet might look outdated, but years of careful preparation had turned these seemingly old ships into something far more dangerous than anyone could imagine. Around him, the bridge crew worked silently. Each member had been carefully selected, trained in ways that defied conventional military thinking. They weren't just soldiers or sailors. They were adaptive strategists who understood that technology was more than just hardware. Hana Kim's voice came through the communication link from Earth's research center. "Maintain current position," she instructed. Her voice was steady, almost bored, as if dealing with a minor inconvenience. The alien warship began to rotate, preparing what was surely meant to be a demonstration of overwhelming force. Weapon systems charged, creating massive energy signatures that would have terrified most species, but not humans. Roke continued his tirade. "Your fleet looks like something from a museum. Outdated, ridiculous. The Galactic Confederation has technologies that would make your most advanced systems look like children's toys. What the aliens didn't know was that every system on the human ships was meticulously designed. What appeared to be old technology was actually a carefully constructed illusion. Quantum adaptive systems were hidden beneath seemingly primitive exteriors. The bridge of the human vessel remained quiet. No panic, no fear, just cold, calculated readiness. Jay remembered the years of preparation, how scientists and military strategists had worked in secret, studying alien technologies, developing systems that could adapt faster than any known computational method. They had turned limitation into an art form. "Your warning is noted," Jay finally responded, his voice calm and professional. "We are on a peaceful exploration mission." Rolk laughed. It was a harsh, grating sound that echoed through the communication system. "Peaceful? Your species knows nothing of true peace. You are children playing with technologies you cannot comprehend." Little did the alien commander know that every word was being analyzed, every communication pattern studied. The humans were collecting data with every second of interaction. The human ship's exterior looked like something from an old space museum. Rough edges, seemingly outdated reactor systems, communication arrays that looked like they belonged in a technological history exhibit. But beneath that exterior lay systems more advanced than anything the Galactic Confederation could imagine. Hana's voice returned. "Maintain passive scanning. Record everything." Jay nodded, a slight movement that went unnoticed by the alien communication team. They were gathering intelligence piece by careful piece. The alien warship continued its intimidation display. Energy weapons charged, shield systems flickered. It was meant to be a show of ultimate power, a demonstration that would force the humans into submission. But submission was the last thing on J. Park's mind. As the tension built, with the alien vessel ready to unleash its supposedly superior firepower, something remarkable was happening. Quietly, efficiently, the human vessel was preparing a response that would change everything. No dramatic movements, no obvious preparations, just a calm, calculated readiness that would soon reveal itself. The museum piece was about to show its true colors. Deep beneath the surface of a hidden research facility on Earth, scientists worked in controlled silence. Wusung leaned over a holographic display, his fingers dancing across quantum circuits that looked more like living organisms than traditional technology. The facility was unlike any military research center the world had ever seen. No massive computers, no obvious technological marvels, just simple rooms with seemingly basic equipment that held the most advanced technological secrets in human history. Years of careful study had taught them one crucial lesson. True power lies not in obvious displays of strength, but in subtle adaptive capabilities. The human fleet might look old, but each system was a carefully crafted instrument of potential destruction. Wu had spent decades developing adaptive quantum systems that could reconfigure faster than any known galactic technology. What appeared to be simple circuit boards were actually complex neural networks capable of learning and adapting in milliseconds. The research team had studied every known alien warfare technique. They analyzed thousands of communication intercepts, battle recordings, and technological specifications from various alien civilizations. Each piece of data was a puzzle, and humans were experts at solving puzzles. Their approach was simple yet brilliant. Instead of trying to match alien technology directly, they designed systems that could understand and counter it instantly. It was like creating a universal translation device for warfare, something that could read and respond to any technological language. In one corner of the facility, a small team worked on what looked like an old-fashioned communication array. But this was no ordinary communication system. It could decode, analyze, and potentially manipulate alien communication networks with terrifying precision. Nearby, another group studied energy signatures. They had developed materials that could absorb, redirect, and even transform energy in ways that defied current scientific understanding. What seemed like a simple metal sheet could potentially turn a massive energy weapon into a harmless light show. Wu remembered the early days of research. Many had laughed at their approach. How can we compete with civilizations thousands of years more advanced, they would ask. But Wu and his team understood something fundamental. Innovation wasn't about having the most advanced technology, but about understanding technology itself. The human fleet's exterior was deliberately designed to look outdated. Rough edges, old reactor designs, communication systems that seemed decades behind. But each component was a carefully disguised marvel of engineering. Their quantum adaptive systems could learn and reconfigure faster than any known computer. If an alien weapon used a specific energy frequency, these systems could analyze, understand, and create a perfect counter in less than a second. Hana Kim, the lead strategic researcher, walked into the room. Her tablet displayed complex mathematical models that looked like abstract art to an untrained eye. But each line, each curve represented a potential technological breakthrough. "We're ready," she said simply. Wu nodded. The preparations had taken decades. Careful study, quiet development, no massive budgets, no public announcements, just patient, methodical work. The alien Galactic Confederation believed humans were technological children. They saw a fleet that looked like it belonged in a museum. What they didn't realize was that this museum was about to come alive. Each human ship carried systems that could adapt, learn, and respond faster than any known technological system. They weren't just preparing for a potential conflict. They were designing a complete technological revolution. Wu looked at the holographic display one more time. Complex quantum circuits pulsed with potential. They weren't just circuits. They were the future of warfare. A future that no alien civilization could predict. The museum pieces were about to show their true potential. The first energy weapon, discharged with a brilliant blue-white flash that should have obliterated the human vessel. Instead, something impossible happened. The alien weapon dissolved midway, its energy seemingly absorbed and neutralized by an invisible shield that shifted and adapted faster than any targeting system could track. On the bridge of the human ship, J. Park watched the alien commander's shock in real time. Rolk Vessen's communication system erupted with confusion. Tactical displays flickered wildly, showing impossible readings. The human ship wasn't just defending. It was dancing through their attack with mathematical precision. "Impossible," Rolk muttered, his scaled fingers racing across complex control panels. The human vessel moved like nothing they had ever seen. Where traditional ships would make linear movements, this ship seemed to predict and counter every potential attack before it could be launched. It was as if the vessel knew what the alien ships would do before they did it. Weapon systems that should have destroyed the human ship simply failed. Energy beams twisted away. Missile trajectories suddenly changed course. The laws of traditional space combat no longer seemed to apply. Jay's voice remained calm on the communication channel. "We are not what you expected," he said. A simple statement that carried more weight than any threat. Each human crew member worked with an almost supernatural coordination. Their movements were synchronized, their responses instantaneous. Where alien ships moved like massive, lumbering machines, the human vessel moved like a living, breathing organism. The quantum adaptive systems developed by Wu Sung were working perfectly. Every alien weapon signature was instantly analyzed, understood, and neutralized. What looked like luck was actually the result of years of careful research and preparation. Alien tactical commanders watched in growing horror as their most advanced weapons became useless. Their shields, designed to stop the most powerful attacks in the galaxy, were being read and dismantled in real time by the human ship. "How are they doing this?" one alien officer screamed, his communication systems crackling with panic. The human ship didn't just defend. It began to demonstrate capabilities that defied known technological understanding. A single small vessel was holding off an entire advanced alien fleet and making it look almost effortless. Hana Kim's voice came through the communication system. Each word was measured, calm. "Tactical Engagement Protocol Alpha 7, she instructed. On the human vessel, something shifted. The ship's exterior began to change subtly. What appeared to be simple metal plating started to reconfigure, adaptive materials changing their molecular structure to counter each incoming attack. Rolk Vesson realized something terrifying. They were no longer dealing with a primitive species. They were facing something entirely new. The human ship wasn't just fighting. It was learning, adapting, understanding the alien technology faster than the aliens could modify their attacks. Weapons that should have taken years to develop were being countered in seconds. Shield technologies that represented centuries of alien research were being read like simple children's books. "Stand down." Jay Park's voice came through clearly. "We do not wish to escalate this conflict, but the message carried a clear underlying threat. We can, if we must." The alien fleet's formation began to break. Confusion replaced tactical discipline. Their most advanced warships were being rendered completely ineffective by a single human vessel that looked like it belonged in a museum. Rolk watched in growing terror as his tactical displays showed something impossible. The human ship was not just defending, but was actually gaining tactical advantage with each passing moment. The museum piece was dancing through their most advanced technological defenses, and it was doing so with a calm, almost casual efficiency that was more terrifying than any direct attack. This was not just a battle. This was a complete demonstration of technological superiority, and it was just beginning. The moment of true transformation came without dramatic explosions or massive weapon displays. Instead, it began with a simple signal, a quantum pulse, that spread across alien communication networks like invisible electricity. Wu Sung's algorithms began their silent invasion. Massive galactic defense grids started flickering. Communication networks collapsed within seconds. What seemed impossible was happening in real time. The human vessel wasn't just fighting. It was systematically dismantling the entire technological infrastructure of the Galactic Confederation with mathematical precision. Alien defense systems, considered the most advanced in the known universe, began shutting down. Not through traditional hacking, but through a method that seemed almost like digital telepathy. The systems didn't just stop, they reconfigured themselves to become temporarily useless. Hana Kim watched the tactical displays from Earth. Each movement was calculated, each action precisely measured. The quantum-linked weapon systems were performing beyond any theoretical model they had previously developed. Critical alien infrastructure began failing. Space stations went dark. Communication relays collapsed. Defense grids transformed into nothing more than expensive metal structures floating silently in space. The human ship moved like a digital ghost, its systems reading and understanding alien technologies faster than their creators could comprehend. What appeared to be a simple vessel was actually a highly sophisticated technological weapon that could learn and adapt in milliseconds. J. Park's voice remained calm. "Tactical neutralization in progress," he reported, as if discussing a routine maintenance operation. Entire alien fleet communication systems started displaying human code. Not aggressive messages, but simple, almost elegant lines of programming that demonstrated complete technological superiority. It was a message more powerful than any weapon. "We understand you completely." Quantum adaptive systems developed by human researchers were performing beyond any theoretical expectation. They weren't just countering alien technologies. They were understanding them, breaking them down, and reconstructing them at will. The Galactic Confederation's most advanced warships became nothing more than floating metal containers. Their weapon systems confused, their communication networks collapsed, their strategic capabilities completely neutralized. What made the counteroffensive truly remarkable was its precision. No unnecessary destruction, no massive explosions. Just a clinical, almost surgical technological dismantling of an entire civilization's defensive capabilities. Alien commanders watched in growing horror as their most advanced systems became nothing more than expensive paperweights. Their technologies, developed over thousands of years, were being read and neutralized by a species they had considered primitive. Wusung's algorithms continued their silent work. Each line of code was a weapon more powerful than any physical missile. They didn't just attack, they understood and reprogrammed entire technological ecosystems. The human vessel moved through the alien fleet like a digital phantom. No aggressive movements, no dramatic weapon discharges. Just a calm, calculated technological superiority that was more terrifying than any direct attack. Communication intercepts revealed the growing panic among alien leadership. Their most advanced technological systems were being transformed into nothing more than useless metal and circuits. "How is this possible?" one alien commander screamed into a failing communication system. The answer was simple. Humans had spent decades studying, understanding, and preparing. While the Galactic Confederation saw them as technological children, humans had been quietly developing systems that could read and manipulate technology at a fundamental level. What looked like a museum piece was actually the most advanced technological weapon in the known universe. A weapon that didn't need massive firepower because it could understand and neutralize any technological threat instantly. The counteroffensive wasn't just a military operation, it was a complete demonstration of technological philosophy, a statement that true power lies in understanding, not in brute force. And the galaxy was about to learn that lesson in the most unexpected way possible. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent. Wusung stood at the center, his presentation revealing layers of technological innovation that had been hidden for decades. "What you saw as a museum collection," he said quietly, "was actually our preliminary demonstration." Alien representatives stared in disbelief. The once mighty Galactic Confederation had been reduced to scattered remnants. Their most advanced technologies lay neutralized, their military might dismantled without a single destructive weapon being fired. J. Park and Hana Kim stood behind Wu, their presence a quiet testament to human potential. They weren't conquerors. They were educators about to teach the universe a critical lesson. The presentation unfolded like a digital tapestry. Each slide revealed how humans had studied alien technologies for generations. Not to copy, but to understand. Not to destroy, but to comprehend the fundamental nature of technological development. Alien leaders who had once laughed at human capabilities now sat in stunned silence. Their technological superiority had been an illusion. Humans had been watching, learning, preparing while everyone else believed them to be insignificant. Wu explained how their adaptive technologies worked. It wasn't about having the most advanced hardware. It was about understanding the fundamental language of technology itself. Each system could learn, adapt, and transform faster than any known computational method. The quantum adaptive systems they had developed weren't just defensive tools. They were a completely new approach to technological interaction, a method of communication that transcended traditional understanding of technology. "We do not wish to conquer," Wu continued. We wish to demonstrate that technological advancement is not about power, but about understanding. The alien representatives exchanged nervous glances. Their entire civilization's approach to technological development had been challenged in a single demonstration. Hana stepped forward. Her presentation showed how human researchers had developed technologies that could read and understand alien systems in milliseconds, not through brute force but through intelligent, adaptive learning. The Galactic Council chamber felt different. What was once a place of political posturing had transformed into a classroom. Humans were teaching a lesson about technological potential that would reshape galactic understanding. J. Park's calm presence spoke volumes. He wasn't a military commander. He was a representative of a species that had been quietly preparing, studying and understanding while others underestimated them. The presentation revealed something remarkable. Humans hadn't just developed advanced technologies. They had created a completely new approach to technological interaction, a method that could read, understand, and adapt to any technological system instantly. Alien technological experts began to understand the true depth of human innovation. It wasn't about having the most advanced weapon. It was about understanding the fundamental language of technology itself. The museum collection narrative was completely dismantled. Humans weren't primitive. They were patient, observant, capable of understanding technological systems at a level no one had previously imagined. "We offer collaboration," Wu said, "not conquest." The words hung in the air, powerful in their simplicity. The Galactic Council was being offered a partnership, not subjected to a hostile takeover. Hana's final slide showed something unexpected, a roadmap for collaborative technological development, not just for humans and aliens, but for a new approach to understanding technological potential across different civilizations. The presentation ended. Silence filled the chamber. J. Park stepped forward. "What you saw as a museum collection," he repeated Wu's earlier statement, "was just the beginning. The universe would never see humans the same way again. What had been viewed as a primitive, technologically insignificant species had just demonstrated that true potential lies not in current capabilities, but in the ability to learn, adapt, and understand."